That's right.
so he's talking about a huge
Yeah.
mountain of capital that's
The,
doing nothing,
doing
and
nothing while the
along
debt.
with a huge mountain of debt. Yeah, the
Yes.
two,
Yeah. Yeah.
capital and the debt.
Yeah.
But that's not an accident. The capital concentration
Yeah.
is created because we don't have a distributed economy.
That's right.
We have, yeah, like capitalism
Yeah.
is about concentration
Yeah.
of.
Concentration.
It's not capitalism that's wrong. It's
No.
the concentration of capitalism
That's right.
or capital in the hands of a few
A
elite.
few elite. Yeah.
Then those few elite, they do nothing with the capital that they have.
That's right. They
Or,
just want
or
them
also,
to be rich.
they even if they wanted to do something, they don't know what to do. So
That's right. Yeah.
and then the experts who they might turn
Yeah.
to get advice. Those are the experts who created that situation.
That's right. They want to steal their own their money, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they can't
So and
fix it.
then these capital these capital holders they fear about being stolen, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they think of distributed capital as being a theft of their capital,
That's right.
and whereas, of course, this was never their capital.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they gained possession or
That's right.
control
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and most of the time by means that could never be justified.
That's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
if you took on any kind of,
Yeah.
equity or human, kind of, humanitarian,
Yeah.
any kind of thing that ordinary people could accept. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
always unethical or by privilege, right? They have a
Mm-hmm.
privilege to do it.
Yeah.
So these privileges are not earned
No.
and they're not given,
Yeah.
they're taken. They're
Yes.
simply taken.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and to take, you first need consent.
That's right.
And
They,
if you don't have consent, then what you've done is theft.
that's right. Yeah.
So basically, the concentration of capital is a form of ongoing and ancient theft,
Mm-hmm.
and it is the right of a
Yeah.
king
Yeah.
to take all of the wealth of a country
Yeah.
and take it into his own hands,
That's right.
you
Yeah.
know, and exclusively and with authoritarian power,
Yeah.
and all of that. And of course, all of that is the story of human suffering,
That's right. Yeah.
because then you do create this mountain of wealth
Yes.
and this deep hole of poverty. In
That's
fact,
right.
I would reverse that. I wouldn't say there's a mountain. Okay, there's a mountain of debt and a
No. It's a
mountain of
pit.
credit,
There's a
but
pit of
actually it's a
that.
pit.
Pit.
People
Yeah.
are in a pit of debt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would
Deficiency.
maybe correct the model,
That's
the
right.
model, and say, well, now these two things can't exist without the other one, because the mountain of capital
Yeah.
is only achieved by taking
That's right.
from the majority, the
Yeah. The
mass.
majority. Yes. Yeah.
So, throughout human history,
Yeah.
I would say thinkers, including Marx, including whoever,
Yeah.
who think about these issues, and they think about economic justice,
Yeah.
and even create, thought about economic justice,
Yeah.
and teaches to hold our wealth in common.
Yeah.
There should be a common wealth.
That's
So
right.
if you talk about that with Americans, they will think that you're a communist,
That's
right?
right. Yeah. They
Right?
fear.
To do
Yeah.
things with a common purpose.
Yeah.
For Americans, individuality is sort of sacred, right?
Yeah.
If you infringe on an individual,
That's right.
individual rights,
Yeah.
which mean almost anything,
Yeah.
it's like each American aspires to be a king,
That's right.
and indeed they have this expression: "My home is my castle."
Yeah. That's right.
And if you take architecture, the way architecture developed,
Yeah.
architecture is about building walls
Yeah.
and towers.
Yeah.
So architecture is a defensive concept.
Yeah.
You create a defensive boundary
That's right.
around your palace, right?
Yeah. Your
And,
palace. Yeah.
if you're somebody, you know, if you're an anybody, if you're actually a somebody, if you have anything, you know, to protect, right?
Yeah,
Is that you're going to put a wall around it,
that's right.
and you're going to put it inside a keep, you know, going to have a stronghold.
Yeah,
Put it in your strong box, right?
that's right. Yeah,
Keep it there, and you keep it from being taken from you,
yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
the model.
That's
The
right. Yeah,
economic model is someone who has more power than you do
yeah,
will come and take it from you,
yeah,
whatever you have.
yeah,
So this is a warfare economy,
yeah.
and all the countries have adopted.
Mm-hmm.
So you know you can't say even one culture that doesn't have kings,
Yeah,
that doesn't have emperors,
yeah,
warlords,
yeah,
powerful, you know, authoritarian
yeah,
so-called leaders, but they're not
yeah,
actually leading. They
yeah,
don't lead anything,
yeah.
you know, because all they do is they just stand, you know, they just take the position of power.
That's right.
They're not leading anyone
Yeah.
actually.
No.
So you know, but people look at those like kings,
Yeah.
and the powerful people.
And there's white kings and black kings. Black kings
Yeah,
refers to the black market, the black, society, right? Yeah.
right, right. And you know even the white king, you know, the white hat, you know, the
Yeah.
one who's supposed to be enlightened king
Yeah.
is still a bad king
That's right.
because is a king.
Yeah. Because he created, this, laws, right? I mean, to make himself the legalized king, right? Then
Yeah,
those who are not legalized, they are the black kings, wearing the black hats. Yeah.
yeah, but they're all authoritarian.
That's
So
right. Yeah. Yeah.
the you know the reality
Dictating. Yeah.
that humanity needs a different model,
No. Yeah. For sure.
and
Different.
the model is, well, what Christ presented
That's right.
is, you know, is a king of kings,
That's right. Yeah.
and that is a king who's a servant of all,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Servanthood.
so that brings the other kings down,
That's
because if
right.
the king
Yeah.
of kings is servant of all,
That's right.
then all the other kings are going to, you know,
Yeah.
lose their power, because, you know, it breaks the law of their authority.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that was Christ's message as well. It's
That's right.
breaking the
Yes.
authority
Indeed.
of the powers of this world. Right. The
That's
powers
right.
of this world.
Yeah.
The powers of this world are identified with the liar, you know, with Satan, you know,
Yeah.
who's the source of untruth, you know,
Yeah.
hold us back from who we really are
Yeah.
by telling us lies, you know,
Yeah.
constantly deceiving, right? So
That's
the
right.
great deceit.
Yeah.
So you say someone who wants to be authoritarian is a deceiver,
Yeah.
and you know he's actually a evil person,
Mm-hmm.
even if it looks kindly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they can have a presentation of being kindly, of
Mm.
looking after the people.
Yeah.
But the problem is the people should be looking after themselves.
That's right. Yeah. That's
And
the
so
point.
the
Yes.
king, even a kindly king,
Yeah.
is holding the people back from their maturity.
Yes. Yes.
And so the people remain like children, and so they can be deceived because they don't have a maturity.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
and so you can have an evil king that will not serve the people at all,
Yeah.
but the people won't even understand. So
Yeah.
they don't really understand even the difference between a good king and a bad king,
Yeah.
because they're just like children.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So
That's right.
we
Yeah.
we need to get past that model.
Right.
We have the people gain their responsibility
Yeah.
and their authority, especially over their own family, in
Yeah.
their own community.
Yeah.
So, you know, sovereignty is local,
Yeah. That's right.
and you know, it should be.
Decentralization. Yeah.
But you know, maybe that is the one area where we can make a bridge to the American mentality, right?
Yes.
Because the American mentality focus on the individual.
Yeah.
They see the individual as the king,
Yeah.
and if they only understood that what we're aiming for
Yeah.
is to actually give that sovereignty,
That's right.
to them, to
Yeah.
each one
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
And that sovereign independence means that there cannot be a king over other, over the people.
That's right.
The people have to become mature,
That's right.
and but so that's where we can find a common understanding,
Mm-hmm.
where even an American could say, "Oh, now I understand what is communism.
Yeah.
Communism is very similar to American individualism,
Yes. Yeah.
because what it does, it elevates everyone, the
Yeah.
individual,
That's right.
and it says to the powerful, "You're not powerful over me."
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's what the American, in the Midwest and the center, as they say, the American who they say is egoistic, only think of themselves. Well, actually, they're self-reliant.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
They want to not be depending on other people,
Yeah.
and they don't want someone to be their overlord, right? They're
Yeah.
not looking for any government. They're not looking for someone to
Yeah.
come along and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
So if only those people could understand
Mm-hmm.
that that's the same objective
Yeah.
that many other culture look for when
Yeah.
they're overthrowing, the king's communism was to overthrow the king. The French Revolution
Yeah.
overthrew the king. The
Yeah.
American Revolution overthrow the power of the king,
That's right.
etc. Right? It's always the same thing. So really, they're not different.
No.
They're not.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. Very good. Yeah. You said it very clearly. It's yeah, and then this way, then it's basically it's self-discipline. Depending how right. There's many ways to express it, right?
Yeah.
Self-discipline. Be your own king, right? So that you don't need another king to rule over you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So look for the kingdom. Be a kingdom builder.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you have God's creation
Yeah.
is sustaining
Yeah.
your dignity,
Yeah.
your life,
Yeah.
of being
Unique. Yeah. Yeah. Being
in a unity with
Yeah.
God.
That's
You're-
right.
you're
Yeah.
directly with
That's
with
right.
Christ.
That's
You're
right.
direct
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. Direct relationship. Yeah.
You have the Holy Spirit. You have the guidance of the truth that we find inside,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and we're not going to be confused by what we see in the world,
That's right. Yeah.
which is hierarchical,
That's right. Yeah.
and we're asked to be submissive.
That's right.
So so that actually, Americans that could, if they could get past
Yes.
their programming that they hate certain language,
Yeah.
and they won't even think,
Yeah.
think it through.
Yeah.
They could find a greater unity
That's right.
with others,
Yes.
who have the same objective.
Yeah. Yes. Indeed. Yeah.
But what about the models of government? We still have problems with the government models.
Yeah.
So what this Greek guy is saying, well, if you look at the model of Singapore,
Yeah.
or China, or
Yeah.
some places, where
Yeah.
you could say, yeah, it's a one-party system,
Yeah.
but it's functional.
Yes.
It's serving. If it's serving the people,
Yeah.
then what makes that one-party, system?
Yes. Oh wow! You have now. Yeah. Yeah. This is a good point. See, the twin. You could say that the United States created. They created this Twin Peaks themselves, hoping the
Yeah, they
two
did.
fighting each other to then you get something good out of this. But now we see no.
That's the thing. That's what's so hard to sort of understand, is that
Yeah.
what the Greek guy is saying there is that capitalism took over our government. So when we look at government,
Yes.
we're not actually seeing government for the people, by the people. we're
That's right.
seeing government by the corporations.
That's right. Controlled by the corporation. That the two,
Yeah,
whoever they are, they compete. But they are actually that they are the what's the word? They are controlled by someone at the back, right? They are
yeah,
not
hidden.
they are not
Yeah,
real king. None of them is a real king.
right, right.
They are
So
not even their own king, right?
behind the curtain,
That's right.
there's someone controlling them,
That's right.
and that's the corporations
That's right.
because they've structured everything for their own authority and
Yeah.
power over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so that's the hidden sort of dilemma problem
Yeah.
of American
Yeah.
of the American system,
Mm-hmm.
and in let's say in a Chinese system,
Yeah.
it's it's a little bit more like it's not so hidden, right? It's like, well, China as a state is seeking to be successful.
Yeah.
So, whoever can be most successful,
Yeah.
it's like merit, right?
Yeah.
They have the merit, they
That's
have the
right.
capability, and they get the support. So it's kind of like who can step up to do certain things,
That's right.
and if you can,
Yeah.
then they say, good, do it.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of government too, is like you don't need two parties to fight with each other.
No.
You know, if you have two parties and they're constantly fighting, nothing gets done.
That's right.
So is that a good thing or is that a dysfunctional? If it's a
Mm-hmm.
dysfunctional,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
of what service is this to the people?
That's right.
There's no service. So what you have in America is like a smoke screen
Yeah.
of a political system constantly fighting.
Yeah.
The left is fighting the right,
Yeah.
constantly battling with each other.
Yeah.
So what does that do? Create a smoke screen,
Mm-hmm.
because the reality is that the corporations are in charge.
That's right. Yes. They just let you to watch
Oh,
the play,
yeah, watch the play, watch
and
the
then
drama.
make you think that you have a
Where-
say in the play.
Yeah.
No.
Whereas if you have a Singapore,
Yeah.
and if an American looks at, I think that was interesting
Yeah.
that he talks about Singapore and he
Yeah.
says, and I visited Singapore a bit and I know a
Yeah.
little bit about that and
Yeah.
experienced a little bit, about
Yeah.
the culture there,
Yeah.
and you can feel sort of that, they rocketed into prosperity
Yes.
with a government of a one-party
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't call it communism,
No.
not really. So then, Americans could look at that and they might learn something
Yes.
because they won't be confused by the word communist.
That's right. Yeah.
They'll look at Singapore and say, well, it seemed to be a democracy.
Yeah.
It seemed to be everyone could support one functional government that's serving the country so well
Yeah.
that everybody wants to help,
That's right.
do
Yeah.
better.
That's right.
So, then they said, oh yeah, well they did that democratically. In other words, they all decided, yeah, that's the best way to do it. Whereas in China, it's like the rule. So it's from the West, Americans would look at China and would say,
Yeah.
well, Chinese people didn't decide to do that.
Mhm.
That was the communist movement that set up the one party, and now it's a dictatorship of that one party, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Americans are going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's judgmental.
Yeah.
That's one culture judging another culture.
That's right.
How is it possible for outside people
Yeah.
to? I mean, if someone did that to if Americans get judged like that,
Yeah.
they hate it, right?
That's
Other
right.
people
Yeah. Yeah.
judge them,
Yeah.
yet they feel very capable of going around the world and judging every other
Yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
to say, well, you don't look like America.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is almost nowhere in the world anybody wants to look like America.
Yeah.
Canadians don't want to look like Americans.
No.
Come on.
Yeah.
So the thing is that if we could just stop judging each other and
That's
taking
right.
these kind of an antagonistic
Yeah.
position,
That's right.
we might find there's a lot more unity in the world.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
lot more than we realize.
That's right.
You know, but what will democracy look like? So that TEDx talk was basically saying corporatism is trying to consume democracy.
Mm-hmm.
If corporatism fails to consume democracy, democracy will emerge,
Yeah.
but it will look like it'll have a different character
Mm-hmm.
in different places.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And if people could just relax and accept that they are different cultures,
That's right.
then they would find that in the heart of each of these different cultures
Yeah.
are human beings
Yes. Yeah.
and have more in common than we have in difference.
That's right. Yeah. That's the point, you know.
Yeah.
And then we can utilize, right? Just connect the common parts. Then we are one, right?
Yes.
We're more like
Yeah.
one than two, two guys fighting each other. Always fighting. Left and right, left and right.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
my left and right on the same body, right? Why do I have fight each other? Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. So, so us like kingdom builders, one of the ways we can create this unity
Yeah.
is our focus on food.
That's right.
So when we give the whole world the pyrapod,
Yeah.
then we give the whole world food abundance
Yes.
and food quality, which
Yes.
means health,
Quality.
right?
Yeah.
Health
Yeah.
and wealth.
Yeah.
And it's distributed. It's not concentrated. It's
No. Yeah.
one
We
that.
started right from the beginning. Whoever
Yeah.
get the right, get the franchisee, the right. They have the same right.
Yep.
Right. We just. So it's like a kingdomship. The king gives his right to other kings, right? So each one is a king.
Yes.
They have this, the technology, the power, all the knowledge, right? If
That's
they
right.
want to
It's
succeed, they can
not,
instantly.
Yeah, it's not hierarchical,
No.
and it becomes more and more powerful as we share
Yeah.
and become more and more distributed.
Yeah.
Then everyone who is already involved,
Yeah.
gets even more opportunity
That's right.
because the other people need their help.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get involved early, and you can
Yeah.
grow, and
Exactly.
as
Exactly. Yeah.
you grow as you serve people. So
That's right.
if you come in early, then you end up serving a whole lot of people.
That's
Right.
right. And then it's not that you chase after others. They chase after you. See, I want this, I want this, and you can be busy that way,
And
serving,
the one who becomes the most powerful in our system
Yeah.
is the one who serves the most
That's right.
by giving authority to the others,
That's right.
because then they also can help the most.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
otherwise, for anybody, it's like a bottleneck. There's
Yeah.
only so many people,
Yeah.
and if you want to help more and more people, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Either you're going to go hierarchical,
Yeah.
so you're trying to control everybody,
Yeah.
or you go sharing and you
That's
say,
right. That's right.
the other people will give me. I won't be taking from them.
Yeah.
They will be giving to me
That's right.
their thanks, right? Which
Yeah.
is, they'll be giving lots of gratitude,
Yeah.
and that can be represented in money, right?
That's right.
also represented
Yes.
in terms of how much
Yeah.
service, and like more and more we live in a service economy, so we know that the service economy can be huge.
That's right. Yeah.
So as we get more and more commissioners,
Yeah.
so you can surround yourself with commissioners, just like
Yes.
I'm surrounding myself with
That's right.
commissioners.
Yeah.
Then you surround yourself with commissioners.
Yeah.
And your service can go it can go so large.
Yes.
And when you instruct the people who you help to
Yeah.
also help the others,
Yeah. Likewise. Yeah.
then you're the grandfather, so you have
Yeah.
have your children. They have their children.
Yeah.
Those are your grandchildren. So that is that is the methodology that we can use.
Yeah.
And then so I can teach you, you can teach the others, and so
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we're only here for a while, and then we're gone. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
if we set this kind of a structure up,
Right. Yeah.
then the structure will remain.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
a legacy. That's
Yeah.
creating a legacy.
And then if we pass on like this, everyone has a legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone has a legacy because this is, you know, yeah, what we do is groundbreaking. You know, what we do is, you know, basically we work on the first
And I
principle.
love
You
that
know.
word, groundbreaking. That's a good choice. It's like because we go deeper and deeper and deeper.
That's right.
Because the world is so large that every place needs a leader, you know, that's part of PowerPod.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to come in and become capable, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
if they become capable, then they can enlist other people.
Yeah.
And so we can make this go deeper and deeper, and finally we can reach every community.
Yeah.
Every family.
Yeah.
And we say to them, well, this is a space that you can create this architecture.
Yeah.
You can live in, or you can let the life, you know, you can have your plants and fish and your animals.
Yeah.
Can be part of your family, you know. So all of this is in the household, you know.
Yeah.
It's right in the household. So then the creation is, you know, supporting you.
Yeah.
And you're supporting creation.
Yeah.
And once the whole world learns this, right?
Yeah.
Then the struggle is over. You know, we don't struggle.
Yes.
We're actually back to the Eden experience.
Yes.
Right? We recover our position.
Yes.
And our relationship with God.
That's right. Yeah. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
I believe we're actually close to the tipping point. We're going to go fully into the kingdom building.
Yeah.
And it's a choice, because if we don't, you know, and if we continue with the untruths, right? If we continue to be held back by all these lord, you know, over those things, power over us.
Yeah.
Controlling our thinking.
Yeah.
Then we cannot make our progress into the kingdom.
That's right.
This is what Christ is teaching. You know, he says,
right.
I'm here to release the captives.
Yeah. That's right.
His word.
Yeah.
Here
set them free.
Captives.
Yeah.
To restore sight. Right?
That's right.
Restore the sight.
That's right.
Set the captives free.
That's right.
What could that mean?
Yeah.
The only time when Christ was invited to stand in his own country in Nazareth, to go to the synagogue and step up as a teacher and teach, that's exactly his his only sermon from the synagogue.
Yeah.
You know, when he was actually at the pulpit to teach.
Yeah.
He went to the synagogue to teach the people.
Yeah.
You know, have discourse.
Yeah.
You know, he went in the Jerusalem there, overturning the table, the temple, the temple of Jerusalem. He overturning the tables and stuff. But you know, when he was only time he was asked to teach, it was he says, "I'm here to fulfill the prophecy."
That's right.
Restore the sight.
Yeah.
Set the captives free.
Yeah.
And for the poor.
That's
I'm
right.
quite sure he said for the poor.
Yes.
So I don't know, we could get the passage, but you know, it's like, and that's again what this Greek guy, economist, is saying.
Yes.
The Athenic, you know, the Athens democracy.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, you know, he's talking about his own culture.
Yeah.
Greek culture, ancient culture.
Yeah.
And of course, for the Western world, that's a source, right? That's a source of inspiration.
That's right.
And he says, well, the thing about that democracy was that it included the poor.
Yeah, that's right.
It included.
So in that sense, a U.S. election, U.S. you know, the Constitution, it's, you know, they somehow exclude you know, they exclude the poor.
Yeah,
The slave don't have the right to vote.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
so you know, in a
Well,
way, this election, the whole thing is not fair,
that's
right?
right.
You
It's
know,
it's a it's a false flag almost, you know.
yes,
So again, American friends will be, whoa, boy, don't say that about our Constitution, you know. But let's be clear, you know,
yeah,
that the Constitution did not give women any right, did not give black people, of course, did not
yeah,
give indigenous people,
no,
and did not give the poor people,
yeah,
because
no,
the only people
yeah,
served by the U.S. Constitution
yeah,
when it was formed were the overlords,
that's
the
right.
property owners.
Yeah,
And when you say that it is a culture where they revere, right?
yeah,
They essentially they go by what they say the law. You know, they say we are a nation of the rule of law. Well, what does that phrase mean?
yeah,
Rule of law.
yeah,
Well, if you think about it, you know, Christ was teaching a nation, Israel,
yeah,
that was ruled by law,
yeah,
the rule of the law, which they meant was whatever is the Constitution as taught under the Judean, the Jewish
yeah,
culture
yeah,
and traditions
yeah,
and law, you know, and it was all based around a lot of performance, right? Things that
that's
you
right.
had
Yeah,
to do exactly this way, exactly that way.
mm-hmm.
You don't do those things quite like that,
Yeah,
then you're not, performing, to the level. And so it's like a very judgmental,
yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
you know,
loser, winner, that
yeah,
sort of
winners
thing.
and losers. You
Yeah,
could fail. You could be cast out.
yeah,
You could be killed if you broke these certain laws, or
yeah,
I mean, they tried to almost like trick Christ, where they could have stoned him, or they could
yeah,
do certain things because he would break a law
yeah,
under the code,
yeah,
and that would be it. They could get rid of him, right? They could
yeah,
say, oh, gonna, he broke that law.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
and finally, of course, he was after all
mm-hmm.
put on the cross. But
Yeah,
you know,
crucified.
not
Yeah,
not not to miss that point that they did in fact succeed,
yeah,
but they actually tried during his teaching, right, many
yeah,
times.
yeah,
And I think it was only by the time that God said, "Okay, Christ,
yeah,
now your mission is finished,"
that's right.
then was the only time that they could succeed, right, to
Yeah,
actually put
yeah,
him on the cross, not because they want to,
mm-hmm.
but because God said that's the next step.
That's right. Yeah, he will go through exactly we have to go through, even to
Yeah,
death and death on the
even
cross.
that. Yeah,
In that way, to prove that the whole, the rule of
the
the
law was
human,
false.
yeah, human ruling is wrong. It's
Yeah,
just the wrong understanding of God's, order and rule, right? So
yes,
for that reason, he came to be a human being, right? And to
it's true.
to show that this is wrong. This is not out of love. This is out of punishment, right? Yeah.
And if we started, we're talking about, and I can't quite, what was his name again, because we're talking about this
Oh,
fellow. I keep
this guy's name.
the
Oh, yeah, I forgot his name. He's
Greek person.
sometime
Let's
you.
Okay, his name is uh Yanis. Oh, just a second. Yeah, his name is uh Yanis Var Var oh boy. So
Oh,
that's why I'm not saying his name, right?
oh
V R
boy, they
V
didn't
A R
say.
O U F A K I S. Varokas Kiss
Oh, Yanis.
or
Yeah, Varo,
Yanis. And his name is Yanis and
Varoufakis.
Varokas.
Yeah,
Bekis.
Varoufakis. Yeah,
Bekis. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So
Yanis. Yeah.
anyway, let's. I hope he forgives us.
And I have a thought. I think we should provide a link to his talk, and
Oh
then
yeah.
present. You see, this video was made based on, it was inspired by his
Well,
talk, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do.
we give the gratitude, and I mean this is so relevant while we are, people are, still trying to pick side, on, hey, I'm pro Trump or pro Joe Biden, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we missed
I
the
think
point,
so.
we missed the point. But
Because
this is,
like
yeah,
I don't know this guy really very well, but I think I heard of him
yeah,
before, and I would say that most likely, he is thought of as being a populist, being someone who is speaking for the poor
that's right,
of the Greek,
yeah,
of the Greek community,
yeah,
and he up against the EU establishment, right? So speaking for disenfranchised people,
yeah,
um, to try to find the truth, to
that's
try to
right,
say what's really going wrong.
yeah,
And his proposition is that capitalism wants to destroy communism.
yeah,
Sorry, not communism.
yeah,
Capitalism wants to destroy
destroy
democracy.
democracy,
Now,
yeah,
who would ever think that?
yeah,
Oh, capitalism was trying to destroy communism.
yeah,
Not exactly true.
no,
Capitalism was fighting a war for power.
that's right,
Communism,
yeah,
not to destroy it,
yeah,
but to overcome it.
yes, that's right,
Be the most powerful, right?
that's right, yeah,
That's a different proposition, actually, right?
yeah,
And an American Civil War,
yeah,
some people would say the war was fought over slavery, but the reality also is that the war was fought between the North and the South, where the South would not give up slavery,
that's right,
and because of that, they had an economic power
yeah,
over the North.
that's right,
And the North was going to say, gosh, if we don't defeat the South
yeah,
and defeat their defense of slavery,
yeah,
you know,
then the
they would
slave will never be set free,
be the powerful, right?
yeah,
So that was a power struggle,
yeah,
but the outcome was that the slaves were declared to now be free.
yeah,
However, they were not given anything that they were promised, right? They
that's right,
weren't given anything by the North or
no,
by the South. By the
yes,
new by the new government, they
yeah,
did not get any promises fulfilled.
yeah,
So this was very much more so an economic struggle for
yes,
power,
yeah,
and who were the beneficiary was the powerful. The powerful became the
yeah,
beneficiary
yeah,
of this. So anyway, these are things. So he is saying, well, capitalism is now going to consume or destroy democracy,
yeah,
because democracy otherwise might overthrow capitalism.
that's right, yeah,
And Americans can't conceive of that because they see themselves as a democracy
yeah,
in which capitalism is flourishing.
yes, yeah,
So they see this same kind of conflict,
mm-hmm,
except some of their political leaders do.
yeah,
Like Bernie and
yeah,
other
Bernie,
left people on the left.
yeah,
They see the corporations,
yeah,
controlling
that's right,
and exploiting and impoverishing
yeah,
the people.
yeah,
So they say, well, wait a minute,
yeah,
corporations need to be, brought into a relationship which is healthy.
yeah,
And what would that look like if the corporations are kind of, somehow, taken and transformed,
yeah,
into healthy, productive service, servicing the people instead of exploiting the people.
yeah,
Well, we don't know, but I think that's what Yanis is saying. That's what we need.
yeah, Yanis, yeah,
There was one other thing. So I think like this thing of capitalism is what he's bringing to the forefront.
yeah,
I think there's another aspect too that we could talk about,
mm-hmm,
which is that when we look at the communist problem, we
yeah,
look at the capitalist problem.
that's
So we're
right,
not saying, oh, capitalism is the good one and communism is the bad one.
no,
Capitalism has this specific kind of thing that's negative that we have to find a way,
yeah,
to transform.
yeah,
Communism had
yeah,
one big problem
yeah,
that I see,
okay,
and that is, along with a scientific, sort of domination of science,
Yeah.
atheism
Yeah.
became one of the platforms of communism.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
communism as a ruling of over the people,
Yeah.
kind of in a way taking again individuality, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and subjugating individuality.
Yeah.
So very much like a king would do,
Yeah.
communism seemed to be fearful
Yeah.
of, of an individual's free choice
Yes.
in spiritual knowledge,
That's right.
right?
Yeah. For
In
sure.
fact, outlawing the concept of a spiritual,
Yeah.
capacity
Yeah.
that people should have the freedom
Yeah.
of worship, or however you want to call that,
Yeah.
but that kind of freedom,
Yeah.
um, and so you know that is also still a factor in the world,
Mm-hmm.
where science is fighting with religion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also in the West, in Western world,
Yeah.
uh, like academic and scientific, kind of culture,
Yeah.
um, sees sometimes, they see that they're at odds, that like they're in a conflict with people of faith,
Yeah.
people of religion, people of faith,
Yeah.
people of spiritual.
Yeah.
And so we have atheism,
Yeah.
in the science world
Yeah.
and all that too.
Yeah.
And it's not only that it's just atheism, because we don't care if people just don't believe in God or they're
Yeah.
making up their own mind, right? We
Yeah.
believe in
Yeah.
freedom of thinking, right? Of
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
investigation for truth. But
Yeah.
what is the problem is when science is actually battling
Yeah.
people of faith, right?
That's right. Yeah.
People
And
of
then,
faith need to have their privilege
yeah.
to believe
Yeah.
and not, and if they believe in the spirit,
Yeah.
they should not be told that then, well, they can't be like science, they must be anti-science, because
Yeah.
no, that's not. People of faith can be all for science,
That's right. Yeah.
at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So this is the other battle,
Yeah.
where one sees the other one as has to be vanquished, right? Has
Yeah.
to be, you know,
Yeah.
and say that that's at least as important as well as this economic or capitalism fighting with democracy, or
Mm-hmm.
our political, destiny,
Yeah.
uh, is also science and religion
Yeah.
as a discussion, and isn't the answer is that they come together, that
Yes.
they
Yeah.
stop, they
Yeah.
just
It's a
stop.
husband and
Like,
wife. You know. What?
yes,
No
yes.
divorce.
No
Get
divorce.
married.
No, one without the other doesn't work.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's right.
so, or he also talks in this TEDx. He talks about the Matrix,
Yeah.
the dystopian world,
Yeah.
and then the world of Star Trek, which
Yeah.
utopian
Yeah.
world.
Utopia. Yeah.
So we have that kind of science thing where how does science become balanced,
Yeah.
and without faith, without spirit, I don't think there is a balance with science. Science needs
Yeah.
this marriage.
That's right. Yeah. Because science is study the what you can see and touch, right? What about the things you cannot see and touch, right? This is the
Exactly.
problem.
The
Yeah.
intangible.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
a Greek teacher
Yeah.
is going to refer to the intangibles that Socrates and Plato
Yeah.
taught, as the foundation
Yeah.
of thinking.
Yeah.
And so and those ideas go very well with Buddhist ideas,
Yeah.
with with Taoists, with all kinds of
Yes.
of Eastern teaching as well.
Yes.
And so we look for fusion, right?
Yeah, fusion.
You
Yeah,
unison.
yeah,
What we're looking for ultimately is peacefulness, where
yes,
we restore a balance and
yes,
stop the battling,
yeah,
people with each other.
yes,
So, that's part of our mission would be
yeah.
kingdom is to get these principles.
That's right. Yeah, practiced, and and to a point, then you can see and touch. See, yeah, I know, right? Something hidden can be revealed, right? Once it
Yeah,
revealed, and then you build according. I mean, you make it, you can make the process continue, right? Then something that is in your mind, in your dream, can become true, right?
absolutely.
Yes,
So out of the intangible world comes the most beautiful
that's right.
element of our physical world.
Yeah,
To be disrespectful to the human spirit
that's right.
and think everything is material
Yeah,
is obviously an error, right?
yeah,
Of big proportion,
yeah.
and it will lead to an imbalance, and it will lead to a matrix world, which is like, is devoid of humanity. Really,
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
people become machines. So that's the Frankenstein, image.
yeah,
The um, science without heart, without spirit,
yeah.
it is going to be dangerous. It
Dangerous.
is.
Yeah, indeed. That's the other thing I get out of this video is the automation. You see, when you automate everything, then
Yeah,
you know, then then actually you lose the majority because then the minority could use that automation and use
yeah,
it to master.
yeah.
Put, yeah, I mean, enslave others. You see,
We
I
don't
don't
want to
need
be.
your
We
labor. I
want to be
have
robots.
my I have this machine robot and never
Yeah,
complain to me, and make lots of money for me, right?
yeah.
And then for
Human
that
beings
reason I
are
had,
not.
you see,
It's
even
not our
get
destiny
make
to be
things
robots.
worse.
That's right. That's right. It makes these are the ways that we need to have truth. We need to not buy into these untruths
Yes, yeah,
and see them clearly,
yeah,
so that we can actually come together
yeah,
and go forward to the
yeah,
future,
yeah.
which is not dystopian. Is
That's
not
right.
a
Yeah,
dead end.
yeah.
It's not going to kill us. So
Yeah, and
kill.
we're not against automation, but put automation in the right
Yeah.
context, right? In
Yeah.
the right position, right? That they are
Hmm.
they are servant, not master. Still, human
Exactly.
being, right? Human being should be
Yeah.
the master, right? And that
Yeah.
way, nobody will fear about that one day will create like a robot that actually will rule the whole world and even destroy human being, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And science people will probably say the same thing
yeah,
towards people who operate by faith.
yeah,
They're going to warn those people. Well, if you only operate by faith, you can become a cult. You can
yeah,
become deluded
yeah.
because you never test what you never
That's right.
test the truth, right?
Yeah,
You believe blindly in
yeah,
something, so you don't test it for its truth.
yeah.
So
Validity.
that's
Yeah,
why we need the
yeah,
marriage. Right? We need that marriage
yeah,
of the way that we can see these things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and we're not going to eliminate capital. Capitalism is not wrong. Saving is good.
yeah,
Capital is accumulated,
yeah.
but it should not be concentrated.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the point. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I think before we started recording,
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. Is
that's right.
that the difficulty with capitalism, the way we understand it
Yeah,
now, is that we revere the powerful, those who have the most capital,
yeah,
have the most power,
yeah,
and that is where power corrupts,
yeah,
and it becomes dangerous, right?
yeah,
So, but the idea of capitalism is a truth that families achieve capital.
yeah,
Cultures are capital.
yeah,
It's the result of generations of investment that you
yeah.
have
That's right.
uh, assets, right? You have
Yeah,
cultural assets. You
yeah.
have family.
Accumulation. Yeah,
You have land that's been developed very well,
yeah,
and it's like a trustee,
yeah,
and it should be distributed and should never be claimed by one
yeah,
powerful person who comes along and says, "I'll
yeah,
take that from you.
yeah.
You
Or
lose all your rights.
yeah,
I'll have arbitrary power over you,
yeah,
and I can make you homeless. I can make you landless
yeah,
because I'm the king."
yeah,
So that's the that's capitalism in its evil
yeah,
form.
yeah. Evil form. Yeah,
But the distributed capital,
yeah,
where everyone's thriving, where
yeah,
communities are wealthy, families are wealthy,
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with this. So
That's
we're not
right.
anti-capitalist, really.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It's basically we're saying that if you push something to the too extreme, then it becomes evil, right? But
Yeah,
if you stay balanced, right?
yeah,
Balanced, right? Then it's a win-win situation. Yeah,
it truly,
yeah.
it truly, truly is that. Yeah,
Great, great. This is wonderful. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I think we stop here, and then again, next time we'll continue if there's something like this, right? Coming up.
there's always something, right, to talk about.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
maybe